Before we dive in, let me leave you with a truth that echoes across every chapter in human history. Nothing we are began in silence. Every civilization, every story, every ancestor left a trail of wisdom waiting to be rediscovered. What you are about to hear is a part of a legacy, preserved, decoded, and brought back to the forefront. I'm OG Mooney. Welcome to AI Legacy Lab.
Every generation has a hidden chapter, a story whispered instead of written. And in Black America, few names spark more mystery than the Boule, the oldest Black Greek letter fraternity, founded in 1904 and wrapped in rumors ever since. Some call them protectors of Black excellence. Others claim they guarded doors, controlled access, and influenced power. But who were they really? And why has their name been surrounded by myth for over a century? This isn't just a history lesson. It's a deep dive into the shadows of power, ambition, and community in Black America. The Boule, officially known as Sigma Pi Phi, wasn't born on a college campus like many other fraternities. It was created by a small group of Black doctors, scholars, and leaders in Philadelphia at a time when segregation blocked Black Americans from nearly all elite institutions. Imagine being a brilliant doctor, a published author, or a groundbreaking scientist, but the doors to professional societies, country clubs, and even basic networking opportunities are slammed shut in your face simply because of the color of your skin. This was the reality in 1904. So, these men did something radical. They built their own network. They created their own power circle, a space where Black intelligence wasn't just recognized. It was celebrated and nurtured. This wasn't about parties or college pranks. It was about survival and advancement. The founders, Henry McKee Minton, Edwin Clarence Howard, Algernon Brashear Jackson, and Richard John Warwick, were all highly accomplished professionals. They understood that to uplift their communities, they first had to uplift each other. They needed a brotherhood designed to promote service, leadership, and education, creating a support system that white society refused to provide. They were creating a blueprint for Black excellence in a world determined to see them fail. But as with any secretive group, especially one with influential members, the shadows grew long and the rumors began to spread. Because the Boule kept their meetings intensely private. Because their membership roster read like a who's who of Black America in medicine, law, business, and politics. Whispers began to rise from within the community itself. People started asking questions. What happens behind those closed doors? Who are they really serving? Some people claimed they were gatekeepers. They believed that the Boule controlled who got the best jobs, who received funding for their businesses, and who was allowed into the inner circles of power. The idea was that if you weren't in the Boule, or at least connected to it, your path to success was significantly harder. Others went even further, weaving elaborate conspiracy theories about elitism, classism, and hidden motives. They were accused of looking down on the average Black person, of creating a new aristocracy that mimicked the very white power structures they were supposedly fighting against. But as we'll see, the truth is far more human and far more complicated than any simple conspiracy. So, what was the real power they held? It wasn't mythical or supernatural. It was tangible, strategic, and deeply impactful. The Boule's members did shape Black history in profound ways. They were the quiet advisors to major civil rights leaders, providing the intellectual and financial backbone for the movement. They funded community projects, from building hospitals and libraries in underserved neighborhoods to sponsoring scholarships for the next generation of Black students. They built professional pipelines, mentoring young Black men and women, helping them navigate a world designed to limit their advancement. Essentially, they opened doors where none existed before. In a society built to systematically deny Black people access to wealth, education, and influence, the Boule created its own system of survival. It was a network of power, knowledge, and resources that was passed down from one generation to the next. They weren't superheroes in capes, and they weren't villains plotting in the dark. They were educated, ambitious Black men trying to forge a path for themselves and their community in a deeply hostile America. Their power wasn't about controlling the world. It was about creating a world where their children and their community could thrive. But that didn't make the criticism go away. In fact, some of the most pointed critiques didn't come from outsiders. They came from within the black community. Many felt the Boule favored the educated and wealthy elite over the everyday black American. They pointed to the group's exclusivity, its intense secrecy, and its undeniably tight inner circles as proof that it wasn't for everyone. The question became a recurring debate. Was the Boule truly uplifting the people, or were they just carefully choosing who got to sit at the table of success with them? These weren't simple accusations. They touched on deep-seated anxieties within black America about class, colorism, and access. Was it right for a small, select group to hold so much influence? Did their focus on the talented 10th, a concept famously articulated by founding member W.E.B. Du Bois, inadvertently leave the other 90% behind? The answer really depends on who you ask, what evidence you look at, and how you define progress. It's a debate that highlights the complex, often painful internal struggles that come with building power from a position of powerlessness. Today, more than a century after its founding, the Boule still exists. It remains private, highly selective, and powerful in ways most of us will never see directly. Its members continue to be leaders in every field imaginable, but their historical legacy is what's truly undeniable. Without their early and sustained influence, it's very likely that many black institutions we take for granted, many iconic leaders we celebrate, and many crucial civil rights victories we've benefited from may never have happened, or at least not in the same way. They represent a complicated and sometimes uncomfortable truth about black leadership, that power in any form always creates questions. It always draws scrutiny, and it always leaves shadows. The story of the Boule is the story of what it takes to build something lasting in the face of overwhelming opposition, and the compromises and controversies that inevitably come with it. So, what's the final verdict? Was the Boule a force for collective elevation? A gatekeeper of exclusive opportunity? A misunderstood brotherhood simply trying to survive? Maybe they were all three at different times, or even all at once. The truth is rarely simple. But one thing is certain, their story is an essential part of our story, a vital chapter in the history of Black America. And here at ailegacylab, we don't run from that complexity. We preserve it. Thanks for watching. If you want to explore more hidden histories, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a story.
Another chapter reclaimed, another piece of history placed back where it belongs. If you have found any meaning in this, let it sit with you. Let it sharpen your vision, not just for the past, but for who we are becoming. I'm OG Mooney, and this is AI Legacy Lab. Honoring truth, protecting legacy, one story at a time. Until next time, stay curious.